Hey, I'm Jamie, and we're back with the GE 44 tonner rebuild. This is a Bachmann Spectrum, and what I did, this is just a kind of generic industrial model that Bachmann makes. There's no lettering or numbers on it. So what I'm going to do, I printed up, which you can kind of see here in black. I printed some decals to give it a number, and actually I'm not going to use the black ones. I've been using the laser ghost toner. So, well, you're not going to see this until we get it off the sheet here, but it's actually white letters. I've been kind of impressed with the white toner. It seems to be working well. I'm going to run it to 3 more tests before I give my final thumbs up or thumbs down on it. It's a little bit too thin. It doesn't hide the color under it too well, which is fine if you're doing like weathered design work and things like that. But if you want like a crisp white, it doesn't seem to do that great for that. But for what I'm doing it with the model, it works great. If you're doing faded signs and things like that, it will work perfect for it. So one of the things, applying decals to the models, one of the things that I've learned kind of the hard way is that usually when you apply the decal, it looks like you put a decal on it. There's no way around it. But with a little bit of different technique, there's actually a way to actually make the decal blend in perfectly into the model. A lot of the decal problems run into what's called silvering. It's when you pick up the model and at just the right angle of light, you can actually see the outline of the decal. It makes like a silvery translucent type sheen on it. Why does it do that? Well, because the decal is not fitting perfectly flat with the surface. The surface has some usually irregularities on there, spray painted. It's not perfectly flat. A little technique that I've learned over the years to kind of help it blend in is actually using a clear coat. I'm using I'm going to butcher the name, Temia. I'll use some of this stuff. It's more of an acrylic. You can also use other clear coats on there to get around it. And what I do with a brush, I try to avoid using the air gun on it, the airbrush. It just, for the amount of surface I want to cover, it just doesn't seem worth putting it into the airbrush and doing it. So I just dip a little bit, my brush a little bit into it, and I'm going to put the decal here on this area right under the cab, and I'm just going to just brush it on. Make sure it kind of just goes on in a smooth type area. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right. And what I'm going to do is let that sit up like this. I'm going to let it dry. And what the clear coat is going to do is kind of basically fill up the imperfections. I used a Tamron because it seems to me works a little bit better than the others, and it's just a matter of preference. So I'm going to let this sit, and it's going to look kind of a shiny, which is fine, but we're going to do a dull coat completely on the body of this cab anyway, so it's going to hide all the shininess. So I'm going to let this sit, and then we're going to come back and actually apply the decals. So just going to let it sit, and we'll come back here in a little bit, in about an hour or 2. All right, I'll talk to you then. All right, we're back. The clear coat is dried on the sides. Maybe you can kind of see it in the video up here a little bit better or not. You really can't tell much of a difference in there. The coat on the locomotive is kind of shiny to start with, so it's not really going to stand out. But it's there enough that our decals are going to stick like they should. So I'm going to start with my decals. Again, I printed a kind of a test one in black and try to go over it with white. It doesn't work too well. So I have the white decals here. It's very difficult to see. So I'm going to get my X-Acto knife and just do a quick cut out of these. Sometimes it's easier said than done. So I have the decals. See, can you kind of see that? Yeah, there they go. You can kind of see it in the video as a light hits them just right. But once we put it on the red here, it's really going to pop out. So I'm going to cut out my first one. And what I do is when I print them, I actually put a square box around it to make it a whole lot easier. And when you have a bright light like this, it's super easy to see. And I'm actually going to get one of my straight edges here, a little metal ruler, and I can line it right up on the edge there, right down, perfect. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. Perfect. Let me clean this up just a tad. I now have my decal trimmed up, and I'm just going to do a test fit here, and we'll get this ready to go on. I'm going to use a little bit of distilled water, and I'm just using one of my paint trays here. And I'm just going to let it kind of soak it up. While that gets activated, I'm going to kind of come over here and do the same thing. Just kind of a spritz on the engine itself. Any luck? Not quite there yet. go. And I'm just slowly pushing it from the back end. All right, I'll discard that paper and go ahead and position this into place. Perfecto, and I'm going to grab a Q-tip and slowly roll over the surface of it. Alright, and the final piece. Just going to use a brush. With a little bit of a brush, I was press down the top of it. I'm just using a clean brush. There's nothing on the brush. You can dip it in water if you want to. The whole purpose of using the brush is to actually press the decal to make sure it's flat and all the air bubbles are out of it. There's different ways. I've got some rubber, I think they call them smudging brushes, that I also would use. But I didn't think ahead and put them out on the table, so I'm using a regular brush. It works about the same. And again, I was doing this to work out any air bubbles, anything that could be coming up through the decal. Alright, and if you hold your mouth right, you should see now the decal 30 Beaufort on it. Again, I used the, I said Ghost White, and actually it was a knockoff brand I got from AliExpress for my particular, I got a color laser printer downstairs that I really never use that much. It was an office purchase, and I was kind of curious about the white toner. I think that's a lot of modelers like myself. We like the idea of having white decals. It's very, very difficult to produce really good, high quality white decals. This is, I think, is acceptable. It's not, how should I say, it doesn't block what's under it sometimes, is what I've been noticing, but this has actually turned out great. I used it on another particular project of mine. Kind of impressed with it. Again, for what it is and the cost and everything, it seems to work well. Again, this is I'm using a toner-based laser printer, and it seems to work well on that. I haven't tried any of the inkjet stuff. I think there's some white inkjet ink you can get. but that just leaves, I think, a whole nother level of headaches. And also, if you notice, what I liked about the laser also, I didn't have to cover the decal with any protective film beforehand. Usually the process I go through on the inkjet, if I do inkjet decals, again, you have to use specific paper of decal. If you're using a laser printer, you have to use the laser decal paper, obviously. If you're using an inkjet, you want to use the inkjet decal paper. Inkjet, usually when I print it up, and then I take it downstairs and I do a coat of basically dull coat on top of it to seal it in. I've had before the decals, especially inkjets, if you get them wet, they kind of start to run. Toner doesn't have that problem because of how it actually adheses to the material. So in my opinion, the toners decals are just a little bit better, unless, especially for the lettering type thing. As far as the photorealistic rendering on the laser jet or the laser printer, not impressed with it so much. I'll use the inkjet for more like designs that I maybe a little bit more intricate, that I want more color out of. And again, using the water slide decals, even out of your inkjet, they're kind of transparent, so you want to make sure you kind of have a background that will help bring them out. So I did this side here. I'm just going to flip it over. I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side. Test 1, 2. And really, when you're cutting up the decals, just really take your time with it. Alright, here's my other decal. I'm going to put it in the water. Make sure I put the cap back on my X-Acto knife here. Nothing worse than being stabbed with your own knife. Yeah, and the more I look at it, the more I do this. It would be nice. I've got two cameras here. One in front of me, my main camera has a wide angle lens on it. That gets me. And then I have another one zoomed in here, but it's at an angle. I would like to eventually get one that shoots straight down. Maybe one day. I think that will show the work better coming down, especially if I get the lights moved over. Alright, that's slipped right off. Alright, there's the decal. The paper to the side. Go ahead and get it positioned. Just using a Q-tip to kind of roll over it to get rid of excess water. There we go. And I'll just start off with some light taps to get the water out under it. There we go. Go back to my brush here. And I'm using kind of a semi-heavy downward pressure. Not so much, just a light kind of breeze over it. Now that I got the water from under the decal, I want to press in it a little bit more to make sure the decal adheres to the surface. Alright, and there you should be able to see that into the video. 30. I think that looks pretty good myself. I've seen worse decals. Go. And last but not least, I was going to put an F on the front of it. Why not? Why not? Since we're here. To do that, again, there's arrows on the cab here that point towards the front. And I'm just going to come over here. And these I didn't really prep like before. Now, the question is, let me find them again. Not it. Oh, here they are. We have our F, lose it, Jamie. And yeah, I'm mean, kind of kooky and just kind of put it under the arch here. Just probably nobody else in the world is going to notice it except me. And again, it kind of brings up a good kind of topic, which is when you actually do the model railroad stuff, who are you really doing it for? And by that, I mean, one of the things I would like to do with these, and one of the reasons why I'm seriously considering like a portable modular layout, is to actually be able to take it out and show it in public. I mean, a lot of what we do is in rooms like this, or in our hobby room, or basement, or wherever, and majority of the trains never see the light of day. Which, you know, that's not a bad thing. But for me, I would like to share the joy of this, especially the kind of finished products, with kind of a wider group of people. And I would like to take it out and kind of show it. That's one of the designs I'm working on next, is the modular layout, and I'm doing a little bit going crazy with the design. I actually thought it would be nice to have actually what I call scenery tiles, which is basically the foam that's cut in this particular tile that you can just drop in on the layout. So you can actually have your base track layout, and then you can exchange different scenery depending on what you want to do with it. I don't have a lot of space to do a layout, so I think that's what I'm going to try experiment with, and I'm going to record that as I get ready to design and make the first modular component. Right, there's the F. Rub it in. And we'll do one on this side too. Get over here and cut it out. There's that F. And for those of you who don't know, on the locomotive engine, F represents the front of the engine. Don't know the exact details, and all of that started to be implemented. And there was much discussion about long cab, short cab forward. So F came about to basically show the front of the engine, which direction should be considered forward. Oh no. Okay, this is not good. It's stuck to my finger. This is like when you need like 3 hands here. There we go. Whew. That was stressful. Not. How did I put it on the other one? Actually, we're messing up. Good thing I did check on that. There we go. I got turned around there for a minute. Everything happens for a reason. There we go. Voila. And there we have it. We have our decals on the side. We got the F on the front of it to indicate the forward direction of the locomotive, and that's really just an aesthetic thing that I wanted to do. And yeah, the F is on a scale, but you know, oh, well, who cares? Overall, I think that looks good. Now we're going to get into the more serious work next. The lights on this thing. Not a fan of how it's set up. Inside of here, there's a light pipe that actually bends up at a 90-degree angle. So if you remember when we tore it down, the lights are in the bottom of it that shine up. The light pipe hits it up and kind of bends it to make it come out the headlight. Not a fan. It doesn't seem to be as bright as I want it to be, and I'm going to do something really kooky, and actually I picked up another 3D printer to help us all, and I'm running clear resin in it. I'm actually going to print my own replacement LEDs for this, based around the 603 LED, and I'll explain why I use the 603s in comparison to the 402s. Especially for this one, for the warm white LEDs, the 603s just seem to work a whole lot better. I'll explain more about that in the next episode, but for now, leave it like it is. Going to let this sit up, and then in the next episode we're going to start actually deconstruct the headlights on this model. already did the rear one, and I'm going to do it on the front of them, so you can kind of see about the process about how that is tore down. It's yeah, it's not a pretty thing, unfortunately, but you're going to see. I have high hopes. I've been printing some LED holders using the clear resin, and they've actually been turning out really, really well. I'm actually being highly impressed with the clear resin in the 3D printer, actually. So I'm very excited to share that with you. And that's what we'll cover in the next episode. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Check it out, like it, and right. So we've got this pretty well settled. I'm going to let this dry, and then in the next episode we're going to actually work on the headlights and show you about the process of that. So until then, I hope everybody has a great day and a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.